In this episode we see, following a spat between Haeng Sun and Yeol over Dong-hee's rude behavior with Haeng Sun, they spend all night and all the next day overthinking how to make up and who should text first. When Haeng Sun finally tells herself to grow up and send him a text message, Dong-hee intercepts and deletes the message. But despite Dong-hee's best efforts to keep Yeol occupied until the wee hours of the morning, Yeol shows up outside Haeng Sun's house at 5 am when she's heading out to buy groceries for the day. She melts and he happily tags along to the market where they officially make up from their little argument. Yeol has a business trip to Incheon that day and he asks Haeng Sun to tag along for the day trip. They take Yeol's yacht out for a spin, and when Yeol goes to the room to grab a blanket, Dong-hee yanks the wheel to one side, throwing Haeng Sun off balance. She's fine, thankfully, other than a scrape on her hand and a nagging suspicion that Dong-hee might have done it on purpose. She doesn't want to spark another fight with Yeol though, so she convinces herself she must have been mistaken. Yeol's too worried to just drop her off at home, so he takes her to his home and redoctors her hand back at his place. That leads to a smoldering "stay the night with me," and that leads to kissing all the way to the bedroom, and before we know it, it's morning, and Yeol is begging for just 5 more minutes of cuddling before Haeng Sun has to get dressed and leave. Meanwhile, Young-ju aims for a romance of her own, having noticed that Jae-woo fits her kindness and height criteria. But to her embarrassment, he's disgusted at the thought of dating someone who's practically another sister. Hee-jae's taken in for interrogation, and poor Sun-jae is sent home to study while Seo-jin appoints herself Hee-jae's lawyer and orders him not to say a word. Now it's Sun-jae's turn to hole himself up in his room. Only when Ha-yi calls him out to the playground to talk does he finally emerge, and immediately collapses on her shoulder in tears. In return for her emotional support and class notes, he shares his exam prep materials which was given to him by his mom. During the exam they both realize that the prep materials and exam questions are exactly the same. The longer Hee-jae stays in police custody, the closer he looks to breaking. Eventually, he ignores Seo-jin's warnings and blurts out that he's not the murderer, he's a witness. And guess whose apartment is full of metal pellets, slingshots, and walls plastered with Yeol's face? It's Dong-hee, who currently has one of those slingshots aimed directly at Haeng Sun. That's all in this episode. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos.